Should we start, Nicholas?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Pedro Barradas. I'd like to welcome you in this Monday morning, starting of the week, and welcome you to the UVAR Hackathon. We have a presentation lined up for you, a presentation talking a little bit about our project, our consortium, the things we have organized in order to make this hackathon possible today, and also present you the timeline. It's going to last for the next couple of weeks, and we'll end up in Toulouse with an award ceremony to the best approach with the data, the UVAR data that is going to be produced in the week of 29 to the 1st of 29 of May to 1st of June in Toulouse during the ITS European Congress. Also, some information about things like the DATEX standards and how this data, the UVAR data, is generated, where it's stored and can be made accessible for purposes of reusing, and hopefully some creativity along the way will help us further develop the value chain of the UVAR data. Starting this today's presentation, I'd like to call for a tour de table. A special thank you for all the judges that were able to accept our invitation to judge the contest. Also welcome every participant online and every invited organization that positively reacted towards our invitation and our challenge. So starting from with myself on this tour de table, and then maybe lining up the participant list here. I'm Pedro Barradas. I work in Army's ITS, which is a Portuguese company based in Porto, dedicated to ITS projects. And we're happy to be part of the consortium with many other companies that will present you in a few, that will be presented in a few minutes. And we're leading this this consortium of this project that started in August 2020, and it's going to end in August 2022. It's a project granted by the European Commission, and it's dedicated to the digitalization of urban vehicle access regulations into machine-readable formats, which may enable the provision of accurate, up-to-date, real-time traffic information services across Europe, therefore enabling free movement of people and goods across our cities, but also promoting a better use of urban space for different purposes. We will get there in a minute, so passing on to maybe Polis, who is hosting, and thank you for hosting this event online. Maybe handing over to Nicholas to present yourself.
Good morning. Yeah, my name suggests it already. I'm working for Polis, and I'm supporting my colleague Manon, who should also be in the call already, with mostly communication and dissemination for the UVAR Box project, and I'm also dealing with all the homepage issues. Yeah, I hope that my colleague is in the call so I can give her also the host rights, and because I need to leave, unfortunately.
Thank you, Nicholas. Go ahead, Manon. Sorry.
Thank you. No worries. So yeah, my name is Manon Cohen. I'm also working at Polis Network, which is a network of cities and regions for urban transport innovations. And we're responsible in the UVAR Box project for stakeholder engagement and all communication, as Nicholas said. Yeah, and no problem, Nicholas. I can take over the management of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Manon. Good morning. Handing over to my colleague Sonia, and a special thank you to Sonia because she had quite a heavy load organizing and making sure that this hackathon would kick off today. So Sonia Soares, can you please present yourself?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. This is Sonia Soares from ARMIS, and I'm also a colleague of Pedro, so I'm part of the project management of the UVAR Box and also organizing this hackathon.
Thank you, Sonia. Also from our team, André Calçada.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Andre. I'm doing an internship in ARMIS regarding the UVAR Box project. I'm helping in few aspects, mostly about the UVAR Box too.
Thank you, Andre. Maybe going back to some of our country coaches, no particular order. Who wants to take the floor, please?
Hi, good morning. It's Nuno Rodrigues from UpTM. And we are in this project as one of the roles is to be country coaches of the Netherlands and from the Belgium, providing some liaison with all the UVAR initiatives taking place in these countries and bringing input and to the project, and at the same time to support them to make use of our project results. UpTM is also leading a work package which is related with the interaction with service providers and trying to introduce them also to our project and to the results that they can use in their own services in the field of UVARs. Thank you.
Thank you, Nuno.
Hi, good morning, everybody. It's Tito speaking. Sorry for my camera, but today I'm not able to use it. And I am from TRT, and together with MEMEX, there are also some colleagues from MEMEX. We are country coaches for Italy. And our main role is to support the cities to implement on the UVAR Box the low emission zones. Please, Claudio or Antonio.
Yes, thank you, Tito. Hello to everyone. My name is Claudio Disperati, and as Tito said, we are involved with MEMEX in the project as country coaches, and in particular, we are supporting the Italian municipalities, but we are also involved in the validation process of the UVAR Box tool, and so that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudio.
Good morning. Hey, good morning. This is Johan Jessink representing Prisma Solutions today in this call. Prisma Solutions was one of the first ones building up this team. Our responsibility in the project is to develop the UVAR Box. So one of the core deliverables in this project. So I'm happy to represent Prisma. We are a country coach in Germany. Unfortunately, my colleague Florian Hilti and Thomas Spielbauer, they are not available today, so therefore I'm doing my best to represent them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Johan. Anyone from Austriatech would like to present yourselves?
Yes, greetings. My name is Alex, representing Austriatech. I'm also country coach for Austria, also supporting the cities for implementing UVARs in a digital form. And I'm most of the time in the technical department and team, as well as in NAPCOR and UVAR Exchange projects. Thank you.
Thank you. Andreas, do you want to present yourself also from Austriatech?
Hello, my name is Andreas Wöbers. I'm also from Austriatech, and I'm helping the country coaches mostly on the technical side and with the parking UVARs. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone from Working Package 1, John Harrod-Booth, you'd like to take the floor also?
Yeah,
please?
certainly. So good morning, everybody. I'm John Harrod-Booth, talking to you from the UK. I'm a member of Work Package 1, who are defining the data specification based upon DATEX, and I will talk to you a little bit about that later. In another world, I'm also the convener of the standards working group that looks after all of the DATEX standards. So thank you.
Thank you, John. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Anyone else from the consortium I've missed?
Yes, good morning. I'm Dennis. I'm a colleague of Nuno Rodrigues at Mathiam. So supporting him as a country coach from Belgium.
Thank you, Dennis. Welcome. Anyone else from the consortium? So maybe from our judges, anyone present here today from the group of judges that would like to take the floor and present yourselves?
Well, I'll start. Stan van Eyck from the city of Antwerp. In Antwerp, we have a great UVAR zone. I think it's one of the example cases too in the project. I'm here because we also use it in our route planning tool. So being able to automate that process is, of course, very convenient, not only for the low emission zone, but we're also looking at other applications like speed zones for shared mobility and to digitize it and make it easier to communicate it in a dynamic way towards all the different stakeholders in the process. So very curious what will come out of it and how we can make my life easier by automation of all those things.
Thank you. That's the goal indeed. Anyone else from the judges would like to take the floor?
Hello, my name is Eva. I represent the Barcelona metropolitan area. We are an entity that aggregates 36 municipalities around Barcelona itself and all the municipalities around. And low emission zone in Barcelona started in 2020, but is spreading in other municipalities. So we have the task of technologically providing tools to help these cities and towns to have, well, to be able to control the access of vehicles, but also to have common information and to publish the information. So we are the aggregators of the information, and we are very interested as well in how to automate some of these services. It's particularly challenging because we have low emission zone areas, but also roads that are not restricted within the polygon of the low emission area. But the good thing is we have managed that all these town low emission areas have the same requirements for entrance, so the same technical requirements. So yeah, very glad to participate. Thank you for the invitation.
I would like to introduce myself. I'm also one of the judges. I'm Vincent from the city of Amsterdam. I've worked with our policy department to digitize our UVAR data to get it to our national access point. And I found that because we started doing this before the UVAR Box project was even started, it was very, very difficult to get all this data and arrange for this to get to our national access point. And of course, we have similar issues that I heard other speakers talk about, such as that we live in a 3D world with a 2D polygon, and that creates all sorts of challenges. So basically, I would love to see better tools at my disposal to get this this policy information out there. And also I've seen that just getting our policy department to think digitally instead of just in kind of PDF format is also kind of a challenge in and of itself. So I really look forward to work with all these people to create better solutions to get this policy information out there.
Thank you so much to all the judges that have presented so far and accepted our invitation. We're looking forward to also to further collaborate with you. I'm not sure if we have any other judges attending or any other participants that would like to take the floor and present yourselves.
I think it's all for the jury members. And then we have interested people by the hackathon in the call.
Thank you, Manon. So any of the participants would like now to take the floor? Don't be shy, please. We're here to walk you through and explain very briefly what the hackathon is about. Please make sure that the session is recorded. So also for those who haven't had a chance to take the opportunity to participate today, they will later on have access to the recording session and also the PowerPoint presentation and the walkthrough. And in due time, they will have the opportunity also to find out the same information that we're providing now live, but later on at a later stage. So anyone I would like to welcome anyone participant that would like to take the floor and also take the opportunity to present yourselves. Please do it now. Otherwise, we move on to the presentation itself. Okay, I usually count to 5, and then if I get silence, I move on. I take it as a yes to go for the next slide. So back to Manon, please. Can you share the screens and the slides? Thank you. Okay, 9th of May. Good morning again to everyone. So the UVAR Box and the hackathon. As I said, next slide, please. This presentation today is divided in 3 areas. A short presentation about the UVAR Box project, the scope and objectives. Also a little bit about what DataX2 is about, the standards. Then the rules of engagement and timelines for the hackathon itself, and a walkthrough on the UVAR data that is going to be made available for the purposes of this hackathon. Next slide, please. So to guide you briefly over the UVAR Box project, as I said, this is a funded project, co-funded project by the European Commission. It's dedicated to the digitization of urban vehicle access regulations, and it's meant to be a practical project. It's a grant that is aimed to provide tools, hopefully useful tools for the cities, to tackle with some of the issues that we've already heard this morning, the difficulties of going from PDF to machine readable formats, the difficulties to live in a 3D world and have to cope with 2D PDFs and the hurdles that come with it, the pressing issues of decarbonization and climate change and dynamically use of the urban space that we've seen, especially throughout COVID, have also had a huge influence on the project and how these tools are being designed. But to start to go to where it all started, maybe in the next scheme, I'll walk you through the concept of a UVAR. And what it's meant to be and what it's meant to address. So UVAR is an acronym that stands for Urban Vehicle Access Regulations, and it's supposed to measure and regulate motor vehicle access to urban infrastructure. It's often dependent with a geographical scope, often dependent with time periods, time of the day, time of the week. Also, it's aiming to specific characteristics of the vehicle, such as the weight or size or fuel. Also, it sometimes implies a payment of a certain fee. And They are, of course, spread out through Europe, so they're language dependent. Sometimes they're reflecting local and cultural subtleties, and this is why we have 5 pilot member states here working with the consortium to get a little bit of sense of how locally these UVARs are set up, and then with the aim of trying to harmonize and go beyond these differences and looking at the commonalities in order to be able to standardize a machine-to-machine readable format for these UVAR schemes. So in practice, UVARs are traffic regulations. They're issued by public authorities locally, regionally, or national level. They are sometimes a little bit creative and often they're misunderstood by the public in general, particularly for the European road users, both professional and non-professional, when driving across the EU. So they're much linked to addressing problems that cities face, increasing life quality for their citizens, contributing for air quality and also climate change, trying to fight a little bit the congestion or aiming to reduce it. Next slide, please. They come in many shapes and formats. Our project is namely aiming for these 5 types of UVARs. So the low emission zones, the limited traffic zones, the pedestrian zones, also the parking regulations, and the congestion charging schemes. There are many other UVAR types. Often these UVARs can geographically be combined. So you can have for the same area of the city 2 to 3 different types of regulations in place, and they overlap each other, which makes it even harder for the road user to understand, particularly because they're provided in the local language and often result in fines for many of the tourists or visitors to the city, which is not meant to happen. So next slide, please. Thank you. As I said, we are a consortium of many companies. You can see them here presented in this slide. We're happy to have together with us Armis ITS, Albert Consult, Austria Tech, Harrod Booth Consulting, MapTM, Memex, Polis, Prisma, Settle Consultants, TRT, and also Utrex. And this is the core of the companies that work together throughout this 2-year period for delivering these tools, the data model, machine-to-machine readable format in DataX2, the user-friendly tools, but I'm going ahead of myself, so please, the next slide. Thank you. Oh no, sorry. Thank you. The challenge for this consortium was exactly to look into all the different shapes and forms in Europe member states. Also take into account that these UVAR schemes come in more than 20 different languages, and then try to provide relevant and effective information regarding the urban vehicle access regulation schemes to all road users in its utmost importance, to ensure that schemes are respected and also understood and perceived by the public in general. So we're betting on standardization that will help city administrations to streamline and simplify the digital procedure of issuing a UVAR scheme, and then make that accessible at the level of the national access point, hopefully to enable the development and enhancement of applications for value chain is presented from the generation of the data into the provision of the service to the end user. So along this value, there are multiple options and opportunities, creativity, some of applications to enhance what we hope is quality of life, air quality, reduction of congestion, and also trying to fight the climate change. Next slide, please. So this consortium is, as I said, aiming to provide tools that will support the implementation, firstly, of a structured data on the UVAR scheme, and then to facilitate access to harmonized information to enable the provision of accurate, up-to-date. This is always important to say because it's framed under the ITS directive. So again, the EU regulation, and we have to thank again the European Commission for granting this project and taking this opportunity further to enable the continuous and interoperable EU-wide real-time traffic information services by means of developing these machine-readable formats in DataX2 that will be able to be picked up by navigation systems or mobile applications. Next slide, please. Thank you. So our project outcomes, we hope to work along these 2 years with the 5 member states, the 5 pilot member states, Austria, Belgium, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands, and with their cities and city administrations to test the first step and the first outcome, which was a data structured of these UVAR schemes, a machine readable format for the UVAR data so that it may be integrated into navigation systems or mobile applications. And also we've been able to produce a user-friendly software tool combined with documentation and training tools to help public authorities generating this machine readable format of their UVAR scheme. So a kind of a generation from a PDF into a machine-to-machine readable format, a standardized format. Next slide, please. Thank you. And a little bit about what DataX is. So DataX is a primary standard pointed out in EU regulation as the standard for traffic management information and exchange in Europe. It is referenced across many European regulations and delegated regulations under the ITS directive. The whole DataX2 model is defined in parts 2 to 12 of SEN 16157 series of standards, and the part 1 describes the methodology and approach. Technically, yes,
Pedro,
sorry.
Would you like me to take over just on these slides?
I'm sorry.
No,
absolutely, okay. John.
That's fine.
So I'll hand over to the expert, my colleague. Sorry, John.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
So, DataX for many people in the road traffic industry in Europe is probably quite well known, but is not universally known. It's been developing over many years, and new data sets keep being added to it, and indeed the UVAR data sets fit into that category. Technically speaking, you could view it as one enormous model. So you've got in there road traffic management, incidents, accidents, road rate related weather, traffic signals, what's on a variable message sign, rerouting, parking, and so on and so forth. There's a lot, and traffic regulations is a relatively new part of that overall model. Nobody ever produces an application that uses the whole model in its entirety, and so there's a process and also tools to support profiling. Actually, the parts 2 to 12 of the SEN standard series are just different profiles of the overall model. So they describe perhaps a piece to do with traffic regulations or traffic signals or whatever it might be. So we have part 11, which has been published this year. It's a SEN standard, so you can go and buy it if you wish, but the data that you will be operating upon basically fits that standard. And as part of the work of UVAR Box as a project, we've taken that SEN standard through to the point of publication this year, but we're also learning as we go, and so we're expecting that to go into a revision later in 2022, early in 2023. So we're learning from the experience as we go. Next slide, please. I'm not going to go into great technical detail, but basically it's a language independent model. So it's been realized in many European languages, but the core data model itself is language independent. For those technical people, it's a UML model. So that means that we can serialize into different encoding formats. For the purposes of the UVAR data at the moment, it's XML, but there are other encodings that are available for general use. So JSON is also worth mentioning. And others will talk about the data that's been made available, but the benefit of that is that the profiling tools enable you to really focus in on the data that you particularly want. In the case of one of the participants in the hackathon, you have the data to start with, so it's really you take what you go from. But the DATEX data is, as Pedro said, is being fed into the national access points. Many of the DATEX data sets feed many of our well-known SatNav suppliers and also tools like the Single Digital Gateway. Next slide, please. So just a final word, if you're unfamiliar with DATEX and you want a bit more background, there's some links. So when these slides are made available, you'll be able to use those links, but datex2.eu gets you to the DATEX website, and you'll find general information about DATEX as a whole. There's not much information on there at the moment to do with UVARs and UVAR Box, because that's being is obviously developmental. But if you want to know more about the tooling and the profiling, there's some useful information there. What we do have within UVAR Box is we have a single model that covers traffic regulations and how you describe controlled zones. But actually, for practical purposes, we then tend to produce profiles of that for the different types of regulations that Pedro was mentioning earlier. So there are different profiles available if you want that sort of information. But if you want to just dive straight into the data, feel free. So thank you.
Thank you, John. So apologies for thank you for stepping in and providing a complete overview of DATEX and how important DATEX is into the whole landscape of the UVAR Box project. Handing over now to my colleague Sonia for presenting a little bit how the rules of engagement of this hackathon are going to be taking place. Sonia, floor is yours. Thank you.
Good morning. So like Pedro said, this section of the agenda is to explain to you the rules of the hackathon. For those who already seen our website, most of the information is already there, but nevertheless, this is the perfect time to go back to it and better explain and leave you to give your voice, to ask your questions. And first, starting with the aim of the hackathon aims at challenge developers to use UVAR data and demonstrate new and alternative uses that could be a benefit to city authorities and to final users. Next slide, please. Sorry, I was clicking on my. Okay, so starting with the eligibility, first regarding the participating teams and then the solutions. Everyone is welcome to participate into the hackathon, regardless their background, gender, geographies, or company size. A team can have a maximum of 5 members, and participants are allowed to be on more than one team at the same time. At the end of this session, we will send to you an email asking information regarding your team members, like the names, organization, the addresses, and the contacts. Next slide, please. Regarding the solutions, the team can submit more than one solutions. They must be provided in English, and any intellectual property developed during the hackathon remains the participant property. And of course, applications that violate general ethical principles are automatically excluded. Next, please. Regarding the scope and the purposes of the solutions, here you are free to explore, and there is a wide range of solutions that we can provide. We have here just some suggestions of the steps that you can use for inspire your solutions. For instance, the digitization of UVAR, the data management, data publication, integration in information services and planning applications, and for instance, provision of UVAR information to end users. Next, please. Regarding the evaluation, the criteria will be qualitative and based upon these three principles, which are the level of impact of your solutions, the quality, and the realistic capability. Our evaluation committee is represented by Cesar from Armies, Bart from Utrecht, Andres from Austratech, and very well represented by the cities of Amsterdam, Barcelona, and Antwerp. Thank you, Vincent, Eva, Stein, and Emily for participating into this event. Okay. On the 24th of May, the solutions must be submitted via email. If possible, you should give access to the solution, for instance, if it is a website or a mobile application. Optionally, you can also send a small video explaining how the solution works. And also you will have to fill in a small identification sheet, just only one page, and we will send also to you for you can fill in. The demonstrations and evaluations will be done at the 25 and 26th of May, and it will be individual sessions that we will schedule between the teams and the evaluation committee according to their availability. We will also send a doodle on the available slots, so you can fill in with your availability, and you can we can schedule it. After these sessions, the judges will analyze the solutions, come with a decision, and the results will be spread by email on the 27th of May. We'll have an award ceremony that will be hosted at the ITS Congress in Toulouse. We welcome everyone to participate there in this hour. We do not have yet the exact slot, but we will spread that information soon. Still, we will have the online option to allow everyone's integration, and this will be a hybrid event. Next, please. The team members of the winning team will receive a gift from the UVAR Box project, and also will have the chance and the opportunity to be promoted through the communication channels of the European Commission and of our project. Next, please. Summing up, this is our timeline. We are today on the 9th of May on our kickoff meeting. We have now 15 days to develop a solution between the 9 and the 24. And in the 24, that solution must be submitted. The 25 and 26 of May will be hosted the demonstrations and evaluation sessions. On the 27, the results will be sent. And also we will have this award ceremony. Like I said, we do not have a slot yet, but will be between 30 of May and the 1st of June in Toulouse, and also online. Next slide, please. Okay, this was about the UVAR Box Hackathon. Now going deep into the UVAR data. This data that is created by the UVAR project and that will be created in the future also after our project will be in the same format as the data that we are providing to you today for you to use for the hackathon. Next, please. This data was generated by our UVAR Box tool that was created by Prisma, and so far we have available 33 UVARs from our 5 pilot member states: Austria, Belgium, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. We'll provide this information to you, and it will be given by email with a Postgres database backup that I will also send after this meeting to our participants. Next, please. Okay, for you to better understand the data, we put here this very simple table, which explains every field. The ones that are in bold, we think that are the most important for you to use in your solutions, the most related to the UVAR information. Nevertheless, we kept other fields here so you can understand the entire database. And from our side, next slide, please. I think that was here we wanted to show to you today. And now we are free to have a discussion. We have much time left, I think. And we would like to hear your feedback and explain every doubt that you may have.
Thank you, Sonia. So as Sonia said, I don't know if this was perceived by everyone. I hope, and I like to say again that the PowerPoint presentation together with the recording of this session will be made available in the project website, so that from today until almost the end of this month, our participants may take the time to understand what's the purpose and the objective of this hackathon, also where they can find the data and what are the possibilities to pick up on that data and build on top of new creative approaches and add value to the process itself. So the floor is open for questions. If you have any of at this point in time, you'll be most welcome to present them. Otherwise, if we have no questions, maybe we may conclude the presentation here and stop for today, and make, as I said, this presentation together with the PowerPoint available in the website. So if there are no questions, maybe I would like also to take the opportunity to once again thank the consortium, the team members, everyone that has contributed so far to the UVAR Box project, and also those who have been directly involved in the preparation for this hackathon. A special thank you to Sonia and the team for making sure that we had a proper kickoff today. A huge thank you to our judges that were able to attend this meeting today and made themselves available for assessing the quality of the proposals that we expect to receive over the next couple of weeks. And wish you all best of luck with your creativity to take this forward, this challenge forward, and hopefully to see you in Toulouse for the award ceremony with the handing over of the prize. So if there are no questions, maybe we close the meeting for today. I wish you well, a good week, and thank you once again for taking the time to be here today. And we'll be looking hopefully to see you soon physically by the end of the month in Toulouse. Thank you so much for attending, and see you soon.
Thank you very much, Pedro.
Bye-bye, Pedro, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks and bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.